My name is Hussain. Yeah, welcome to a new workshop about finance with Gemini AI. I'm really happy to present over here. I'm going to be talking about a lot of things over here, and let's make a checklist right now. I would suggest you two guys to open Google Colab and keep it open, as well as log it in, and we'll be working on it pretty soon after we get on with all of the, all the theory part. So let's start. For the agenda today, I'll be holding on to this main two topics. This is the thing that's really, on top right now. The core tech which we'll be using for the workshop completely are Gemini 2.0 API. Though we can be switching between Gemini 1.5 Flash as well as 2.5 Flash, but it depends on, how well you know all of the stuff you're doing. I would suggest to use 2.5 Flash because I'll be talking on it later on, and also the implementations. We'll be using an Excel data sheet which I'll be providing to you guys, to as your data, because we'll be running a data to sort it to sort out our data completely throughout pie chart and bar graph, as well as let's check out what Gemini API is, which is the main attendance today. Okay. So Gemini API is one of the models released by Google for working around with it to run it locally on your devices or as an agent. So it's capable of doing a lot of tasks. For now, we'll be only running like documentation reading and data simulation using Python. That's like the basic for now, but you can do a lot of stuff with it. You can you these I mean APIs and what called agents are used in big companies to run a lot of things like video generation, text generation, data handling, server handling, Wi-Fi, everything like networking. It's a really big thing right now, and and also we'll be working around understanding how it works. For now, we'll be just using the API for 2.5 Flash, I think, and I'll be showing it to you later on in the session. What our main topic today is how Gemini API is able to, read a document completely, take information from it within minutes. I mean seconds. This thing is really quick. We'll be using an Excel sheet which I'll be providing to you. I'll be providing you guys when we start the Google Colab session, and as well as I'll be talking about the trades what we'll be using, the tools which we'll be using in the Google Colab. For the tools, the first thing will be is the main thing, Google Gen AI. We have to download all of these dependencies, which I'll also be sharing with you again. Pandas, Plotly, these two are Python libraries. So Pandas is like a data frame. I hope you guys are aware with MySQL. It's just the same thing as the Pandas. Pandas is really, it's really straightforward compared to MySQL, and it's beginner friendly, I would say. And Plotly, this is used for, are you guys aware of what called, sorry, Power BI? I think we have a course on it in ADU as well. Power BI also uses Plotly to, to make data handling very immersive and, very, very executive. It makes it very easy to understand and also plot graphs and as well as, make charts and everything for companies. Now I'll be moving on to what called the tech stack. First of all, we have our dependencies, which is Google Gen AI. So right now I'll be shifting from the PowerPoint to the Google Colab, so I can show you guys everything. Okay, I hope this is visible. So this is a new account I made, and I'm going to show you how. I'm going to walk you guys through whatever you should do. I hope my screen is visible right now. The Google Colab link. Do you guys want the link in the chat? I've sent the link in the chat so like, you can check it out. First things first, when you open, we should first create a new notebook. Let it load through. I would say this is a virtual environment. So, it's very easy to go around with it. It's so simple and it's really fun as well. And let's start. Okay. So I'll be moving on with the installation. Right now, I'm gonna install all the dependencies which we need, to run the code completely. Here goes pandas and plotly. These are Python libraries. Okay. So I hope my screen is visible right now because I'm not getting any information. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, Windows DCS.
Okay, thank you, thank you. These are all the main dependencies which we need right now, like Plotly for the plotting, GenAI for the chat, and also Collab, which we run because we'll be connecting the API key through the Collab. I'll show you guys that too as well. And Pandas. Pandas is like the main thing right now for our complete program. I'll be sharing you guys in the chat box like the code through by through because so you can quickly copy it. Oh, okay. Well, let me go through what happened. Pandas, Plotly uploads, and oh, okay, okay. That's the wrong one. That's done. We're gonna open a new other code box, and I'm gonna connect the client over here, and then we're gonna start the upload. Oh, come on, what's this happening? Now over here, you guys gotta keep in mind that you have to name the Google API key as this as well. Because when we add the key, we want this name because it's gonna find the client is gonna find col this named variable as we're naming the key completely as Google API key. So keep the keywords as it is. I'm really sorry. I'm just facing some errors over here right now. Now over here, we're gonna move on to the uploading section. This is completely Python over here. So I think if you guys have gone through high school Python, it's the same thing as when we're uploading a file and reading a file using a GUI, a graphical user interface. We use this format of uploading. Okay, and also to keep in mind to keep this the section 0, because if you do not add this, it's gonna start reading the file from the first index, which we don't want because otherwise it's gonna skip the columns in the Excel sheet. You guys gotta keep it in mind. Okay, now DF this we're gonna start using Panda over here right now because we want to read the graph. So it's gonna start reading the Excel file as we have described over here. And let's move on to the API section as well. I'll be sharing this link as well. 1 minute. I've shared the API link. Now we're gonna create an API key. So we're just gonna go get an API key over here. Click this, then create an API key. You can name it anything over here. Let's keep it and let's just create a project, Gemini project, create project, creating a new project, and then we're gonna create the key. Now this thing is very important to know about Gemini API because if you overuse it, you could get charged. But right now I have worked around using the free version, so you won't be having any issues. But I would say when you use the keys, always check your usage. Always it you don't know. And also this is a really secret. It's a really what called complicated thing. You should not share your API key to anyone. Just keep it with you, like keep it completely hidden when you're using it around anything. Over here, we're going to name it Google API underscore key, as we named it over here. And we're going to paste this and access to the notebook. That's it. Now we'll start moving on to the coding section where we okay. I had to get this thing clear out with you guys. When you're running the Google API key, I want you guys to check out uh, all the usages when you're researching the Google API key and as well as the Gemini API key, because these things you can run short agents through it to to help you out around things like running a tech stack or even generating texts or video generation or even image generation. This allows you to use Gemini API key a lot of times, and also you have to check your usage as well, which is really important. I also wanted to mention like TPM, this tokens per minute. You need to explain in your program that you want these many tokens per minute. Otherwise, it's gonna give you an error of exceeding limits or tokens all the time, and it's really frustrating sometimes. Um, and Also, just a minute, I'm getting some connectivity issues here. Just a minute, guys. I'm really sorry. I think I've lost some connection over here. Hello, can you hear me? I hope I'm clear right now.
Yeah, you're clear.
Okay,
I can
yeah.
hear you.
So now we're gonna again create another text box, and we're gonna continue with the uploading section. We want it to give us a summary, so we're gonna just, okay, over here, when we're using summary section, we'll be using we will be using the predefined Excel sheet. I have an Excel sheet right now, and the columns are category, amount, and also what call dates. I'll be removing the dates for now. I'll just use category and amount, so it'll be easier for us to run the code. Okay, so here I'm gonna write category. Okay, and here when we are setting the sort values, we don't want it to send in ascending order. Otherwise, it's gonna skip values in the middle. This thing happens in iteration as well as in Python. I think you guys are aware of it. When you have a list of items and you iterate a list, let's say it's list of cities. Right now we have category, amount, and cities. And if you say find amount in list one, it's just gonna go category, and when it iterates to go back again, it's just gonna skip the ending. So it'll find category, it's gonna find amount, but it won't find cities. So you should just avoid adding an index, but right now we need it. So I'm gonna create it as ascending value. Now, what we did over here in this box is we connected the API key, and we also added the upload section and the reading column. So it's gonna check, it's gonna upload and read. That's it. And now we're gonna move on to, creating the charts, creating all the visuals. So we go to fig. We're just gonna name it figures. As you can name it anything you want, but I'm gonna keep it figures. Make. This one is a long one, so I'm just gonna send it to you as well. From where I'm typing it. Yeah, here you go. It's in the chat, so you guys can just look into it. And be mindful when you're copying it from the chat. Check the indentations which I'm keeping right now, as they are really important as well. And here we're defining the type, which means what are we looking for? I want to have a pie chart as well as the bar graph to make my data visual more appealing and more easy to understand. You guys could use anything you want, like let's say a map or a flow chart or anything like that, with that which it depends on what data you're sending. For now, it's just Excel which we're gonna use, so I would prefer pie chart and bar graph. Okay. Now we're gonna move on to our summary section. Okay, so in our data, we have three columns. So we're going to index it to three itself. Otherwise, if we, extend the indexing and it goes infinite, we won't be able to run the complete code. It's just going to stop abruptly because it's going to exhaust its token, as well as, it's going to close completely. It's going to shut down the what called the TPM. That's why it's really important, to get an indexing and everything. And then we're going to continue our, figurations. We're going to add the tracing as well. categories. Then we also have our summary values. So I'm gonna add values equals to summary, and which is gonna be the amount value. So over here, we described our pie chart. So we want two types of categories, the summary for the category and the amount. Is gonna create is gonna, divide the pie chart according to the categories like what called house, rent, food, electricity, etc. All that, and the amount as a summary section. So we'll look into it. We'll see how what the result is later on. Let's just complete completely. Now we'll go around to the bar graph. So go dot bar, and we're gonna explain the summary for it. So this isn't a requirement, but you could add a color to your what's called bar graph. For now, I'm gonna move around to blue. So I'm gonna, check out the hash value for blue. I think it is, I'm not sure if I remember it, but I think it is, uh, sorry, I think it is hashtag over S. That's the hash value. So you can find them out. Let's say you got the hex code and the hash values over here. So you can, copy them into the code to based on what color you want in your bar graph and everything. This is happening. 1 minute. Oh, okay. They need to be in the because it's trademark. Okay. Okay. So here we can, uh, name the titles and everything, and I want you to check it out. Just a minute. Uh, so for both the graphs, it's gonna be the same thing. Monthly spend and total in AED, which is Again, reformatting the output to 2f means to two floating points. This is also, to show every point value to not miss any amount in the bar graph and in the pie chart as well. Oh, come on. Okay. Now, this is something very interesting now. Now we're going to write the prompt for, our program. Keep in mind, copy the prompt as what I type, because if you increase the prompt even a bit more, it's gonna, give any errors because this
So
is,
there's a question
yeah.
about the Excel file. Does the AI make it by itself, or
No,
is
no,
it
I'll be
connected with
provide.
another existing Excel file? Like, you
Uh,
know.
you can make an Excel file based on your usage, but I'll be providing a sample Excel file, like sample transactions. I'll be providing it in the chat when we start running the program. Okay, understood?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Well,
Okay, here we're describing the prompt we want at the end. So these are the tips we want. Okay, so we want the biggest issue in our finance, then as well as we want the top three saving tips. We want the health score. So yeah, we'll be using the word health score because it generates how good or how healthy or how adequate is our spending habit, because we don't want anything, we don't want to, overspend or anything. We want to know what's wrong with our finance if that's the case. And also we'll be using another prompt which is called be brief, because in this in such a small prompt we want it to, be helpful as well. So yeah. Okay, I'll be sending the function code. Where we're connecting the API key to the program over here in the chat. Okay, so I hope you guys are aware of functions from Python. I think it's the same as Java, but it's a bit more complicated in Java. That's why, it's very easy to code in Python. Okay, yeah, this is also really important. We want it to give attempts, because sometimes this is a really big prompt. It's a really big prompt. Trust me, it's a really big prompt and it's going to exhaust the TPM really quickly. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply logic over here. We're going to make the program attempt sending the prompt to the API key 3 times between intervals. So first it's gonna go for 5 seconds, then 15, then 45. Because after in Google API, even in Gemini, if you exhaust your prompts, you get a certain grade, you get certain period where you have to wait out because it's a free tier, right? So you have to wait out, and then you can again send your prompt. So it's really hassle to write the code again and then again send the prompt again. That's something which good engineers won't do. So we're gonna create a trial and error method in this. So we're defining the function for the prompt itself, and we're gonna include try and accept. So it's gonna try to return the client time model again. So over here, I'm gonna be calling the program. I mean, I'm calling the version of Gemini. So here we'll be using Gemini 2.0 Flash, which is a bit better and very fast. I think we have 500 TPMs in that. I'm not sure. I'll be confirming it again with you, with checking it out. But this thing, it helps us to send multiple prompts compared to 1.5 Flash and 2.5 Flash. And you can't use the pro version because it's paid, and we don't want to, pay for something like this. We do want to pay, but when we're learning, right now we're learning this thing, so I would suggest you not to pay or set up a billing process because it's gonna use up a lot of money. We're gonna define the exception we're gonna write. Okay, yeah. So the most common error you're gonna find is error 429, which is exhausted. Error exhausted, quota exhausted, or prompt exhausted. So we're gonna define this function when if the program gets this error, what it's gonna do. So in string str in string e, we want it to time it out. I'm actually I would suggest to start by 5, but I think I've used this API a lot already once, so I'm gonna keep it 15 so I get more time in the exception. Now a def function should have a return function as well. That's gonna be the main thing. I'm gonna bring an emoji over to make it, a bit appealing. Now we're gonna be printing our ending. This is the final. So we're gonna do a new line to make it, more ergonomic. Again, a new line and add our prompt. I mean, sorry, add our okay. So let's check everything again if we have any errors or no. Hope we don't have any errors. Okay, except function. Why is it catching an error over here? We have the try, we have the except. It's in the for loop. Yeah, it's in the for loop. I'm just gonna, repaste it. So let's see what happens. Is it still raising the error? Oh, okay, no, it's not. Okay, I'm gonna send the Excel document to you guys right now. Guys, check the chat. I think I have sent. I think it's loaded for you guys. If you can see it, please let me know. Just a minute. I'm not. I'm trying to, send the. I'm not able to see the sending option right now. Okay. I think I figured it out. I'm gonna be sending it over here in the main channel. Warza, are you here in the meeting?
Yeah.
Because I'm not able to send the Excel sheet in the file. I'm not able to access the chat box. Or just a minute. Sorry for the inconvenience, guys. Okay, guys, sorry for the inconvenience, but Varda, she's going to be sending you the guys the what called the Excel document to upload it over here. So just wait for a few minutes. I'm gonna, change some things over here. Oh, or just a minute, sorry. Till then, I'm gonna, check the code. So I hope we don't have any errors in it. So just, let's just go through it. So we are calling the API, we're calling the upload section, we are running the prompt as well as defining the figures over here. Okay, there seems to be no error for now. Did you guys receive the file?
Yeah.
Okay, so download the file, save it in your downloads right now, and I'll just show you the steps. So first, important, run the cell one, all the dependencies, because we need these. We need all of these. After you're done running that, I'm gonna run it again anyways. It's gonna download everything from us. So we got a confirmation. We're gonna run the client shell right now. Okay, yeah, let's go. So we got connection complete. I'm gonna, upload my transactions. Okay, it's gonna completely go through it. Oh, okay, that's an error. So we haven't defined the subplots. Ah, okay, okay, okay. Understood. Just a minute. Just gonna, remove this and check it again. On it again right now. So I think it worked partially. I'm going to check it again. I'm really sorry for the inconvenience. But here, see, this is completely plotly, which is another Python library. We got the bar graph as well as the pie chart, which you described over here, and as well as how we mentioned it to be. We mentioned the characteristics of breakdown as well as categories. We got the categories of shopping, dining, groceries, and our utilities, and our income, which is mentioned over here as 6,000. I think it's dirhams. Yeah, it gives us everything over here and as well as the income for all of our categorized outputs. It read it completely, and now I think the advice area has got an error. So we have a traceback error in the Gemini 2.0 Flash. The API is not found. I think it's not loading completely. So let me delete the code again and type it again. Is it saving? think it's saving. Yeah, so there should be no issue again. It is saving the code. Let me run it again. It's still loading the financial advice. I'm gonna hope it runs through and we haven't exhausted the API because I just run the prompt second time. So yeah, I understood. Yeah, you know why it's taking some time? Because here we ran the try and accept, right? So it's gonna send the prompt three times in a multiple what call direction. So first 15 seconds is gonna wait it out, then 45, then it's gonna go to 19 seconds. It's better to keep that try and accept so you know you don't get logged out of the Gemini API and then you have to again run the code like what happened right now. Just gonna wait for it to completely happen. I hope it does. Ah, okay, yeah. Get exhausted. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a new API again, create a new project. It's
Well,
better to do it
isn't
this
there
way.
any like a free Gemini API keys? Like for an
Sorry.
example, I think there is an website for the API keys
Oh yeah,
called
okay. See,
it's called
those
Operator.
API
You
keys, yeah, I understand what you're asking. Those API keys are, for data as well. So you know how have you guys ever wondered like how do we get live updates of everything? Like, weather forecast, timekeeping, world time. Then in prayer also, if you check websites of prayer timings and everything and all world maps, these are all data induced. So those data induced people made it free. So people, other people who are, working on small projects can use it. So that is embedded into an API. So API is just a connectivity. It's not like something, you can use it continuously all the time. When you keep a limit and you exhaust the limit, you have to copy the API again. So, it's like you're redeeming your voucher card, if that makes sense.
yeah, but don't you
Yeah,
think
sorry.
that like every time that you're gonna use the API key, it's gonna end its credit like an instant?
Okay, yeah. That as well as that, Google made it really easy for us. They keep unless and until we set up a what called a billing process, it's just gonna be in the free tier. So how many ever API you create, it's not gonna, exhaust or charge you for anything.
Yeah,
That's really convenient for us as well. Created access to the notebook and oh, okay, did not. I'm gonna run the code again. Okay, let this sit for now. I'm gonna also, show you guys something which I have been working personally on. Let me just, screenshot that as well into it. This is just, a small part of the project. Whenever you're intrigued by things, how they work and how things happen, I would suggest, to work around to, look into everything. When I was introduced to Gemini API, money is a really big thing. Money, I'm not joking. Money and finance and healthcare, these three things, these two things are a really, really important thing when you're using AI because we haven't induced AI in the financial market as well as the healthcare market because these two markets are really risky right now. Because healthcare, you don't want to, play around with data of people and privacy, and finance. You just can't do it right now. Even in quant technology, it's really rare that you see a model running on its own. It's always supervised. Anywhere, if it's running on its own as well, it's going to be supervised, and it won't be given full access. That's why I had an intention to make my own program where I can finance stuff on my own. I can check it out. So this I made a project for 2.0 Flash as well as 2.5 Flash. This is a really long project, so I made the Colab, which we did now, as a sub project of this. So that inspired me to, make a workshop on it and explain it to you guys, as well as to show the importance of, how AI is going to shape the future for us. Okay, it's gonna have to share my screen again to show you I'm gonna completely show you it. So this is what it makes. Over here, I'm using the same Python libraries. I'm using Streamlit. We did not use this. Streamlit is a really easy GUI program. You know how we have HTML and CSS? Streamlit is a built-in library which will help us to, run GUI programs way, way, way more quickly and easier. As this was a short project, I meant to, create a quick one to for understanding and also, how AI can be really helpful to us. Over here, I did the same thing as keeping the API key a private key. That's just Google giving me, come on. I'm gonna present my API key over here. I think it's exhausted, so let's see. We have our analyze functions, our goal tracker, our CSV, and an AI insights. I won't be going in depth in this, but there's no end to this AI bubble. I feel like you can experience a lot of things, you can learn a lot of things from it, and also main mostly our day-to-day lives, the simple lives, simple things which you do, simple tasks we do is going to be shifted into AI very quickly. So I would suggest you guys, to go through API keys and also Gemini API. And yeah, I forgot to mention, Gemini is going to be is I think it's free for a year for students, so you got to find it out. Gemini and Claude, these two are really at the top right now. You can run them locally, you can run an LLM through it, you can, make your own agents through it, and that's how people are earning money as well. Right now, it's really quick, it's really easy, and it's really easy to understand as well because you got a lot of information on it, you got a lot of data, you got a lot of videos, you got a lot of people also teaching it. This is just a small part of it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it completely. I'm sorry if I had some issues throughout, but we worked through it, and I'll also be sending you the uh, code file through what call GitHub, as well as the PowerPoint. If because the PowerPoint has some part, you can understand. You can go through it. The PowerPoint has the API section which it explains how it runs. Even my LLMs, I'm sorry, my LLMs, my dependencies, and also my what call libraries which I run. It is going to explain it to you how I ran it. So it's really helpful for people who are going to start doing it seriously. Yeah, and anything, if you guys want to know anything, just reach out to me on my LinkedIn and as well as my Instagram. I'll be sharing it to you guys through the PPT as well. And thank you very much for attending this workshop. I really appreciate you guys being here.